Hey, it's Mo. As always, I am very glad you are here to hang out and talk about makeup. I've got another good day. We've had lots of sunshine lately. I mean, I guess that's kind of a summer thing, right? But I'm taking advantage of it when I can. And this is a product I've been kind of waiting for, actually. It's the new Maybelline Lifter Gloss. And for a while, I feel like I've been looking for it for a while. It's probably been all of 2 weeks, maybe 3. But I kept kind of Googling it, and the only place I was finding it was Amazon, which seemed really unusual. So I was kind of waiting to see if it came to other retailers. I didn't know if maybe it was only available in other countries. I wasn't sure what the deal was. In any case, it came to Ulta, and then it came to Target.com, and I'm still doing most of my shopping online. So when Target got it, I placed an order, and I decided it would probably be beneficial to you if you could see all 10 shades swatched compared to each other. And then I know some people are saying, hey, this is a dupe for Fenty Gloss Bomb. I also thought it might be interesting to compare it to the ColourPop Luxe lip gloss. So we're going to do all of that today. And I'm going to do lip swatches in addition to like comparison swatches on my arms. So here is the new Lifter Gloss from Maybelline. I think this interested me initially because of the packaging. I think it's kind of a modern take on packaging. It's got that kind of KKW packaging kind of feel, this nudish, leaning millennial pink, you know, lid and the kind of square blocky shape and the really acrylic looking, kind of thick acrylic looking container. So I just thought that packaging, it kind of drew me in, and I'm not the biggest gloss person. I don't dislike lip gloss, but in a check a box situation, which do you prefer, lip gloss or lipstick? It's always going to be lipstick for me. But there are some glosses I like, and particularly if I feel like they're going to kind of hang on my lips a little bit, and moisture is a big thing. I think gloss, of course, generally is more moisturizing than lipstick, but this one has hyaluronic acid, which is, I'm sure you're very familiar with hyaluronic acid. A lot of people say it's a moisturizer. It's a humectant, right? So what it does is pull moisture from the air and attract it to whatever it's in. At least that's my understanding of it. So that seems like a good moisturizing ingredient to have. And the claims about Lifter Gloss, according to Maybelline, are that it visibly kind of lifts and plumps your lips. So it's supposed to visibly smooth the lip surface and then define the contour of your lip line, thereby making your lips look fuller and lifted. I didn't really think that when I bought it. Most glosses are going to kind of give a somewhat fuller appearance merely because of the way the light's reflecting off it and the shine and that kind of thing. So those claims I'm not really sure about. We'll talk about that a little bit. But anyway, so this is the packaging, obviously. And we'll look at and by the way, look at this. It really shoots out of there. Like it's like turbo. You undo it and it's like, poof. Not sure what that's about. But here is the applicator. It's one of those they call it an XL doe foot applicator. So it's pretty large. It is in that manner very comparable to the Fenty Gloss Bomb. I'd say the applicators are very similar. I'll actually compare them here for you, but just so you can see kind of what we're looking at. And like I said, you really have to push down on this to tighten it up. I don't care about that, but just be aware of that. There are 10 shades, as I mentioned, and it's nice in that they've numbered them consecutively. So it's 001 through 010. And that's the order we'll kind of look at them in and swatch them in and that kind of thing. Because I know sometimes when I'm watching a video and trying to choose a color that I might like in a certain formula or something, it's helpful if it's done in a certain order that it's easy for me to figure out which one I like. So we'll talk about the name, but we'll also do the number and that kind of thing. Let's do a quick comparison to Fenty Gloss Bomb, since a lot of people are talking about that. I don't have all the Fenty Gloss Bombs. I only have 2. I have Fussy, which is the first one I purchased and is full size. And I have Sweet Mouth, which actually came in a holiday set, and I have a smaller version of that. Let's just look at the doe foot in general, and let's just compare that. Because I think maybe that's part of the reason people are making such a strong comparison, and it's pretty undeniable. Those are pretty darn similar. You know, shape is the same. Width is pretty much the same when I'm looking at them. They look pretty much identical to my eye. So I would say the applicators are very similar. Make sure I get these back in the right containers. They don't have the same scent. Fenty to me has a very distinct scent, and it's not a scent I've noticed on any other product or particularly lip gloss. It's not one of those buttercream smells. It's got a fruity smell, but it's not like it's trying to pretend it's a real fruit. Like it's almost like a fruity candy kind of smell, but not for me, not in like an obnoxious or headache inducing way. I actually really like the smell of the Fenty Gloss Bombs. And then the scent of the Lifter Gloss is not fruity. It is more, it's definitely more along the vanilla line, but it's not as screechy, sugary vanilla as some glosses are. It's somewhere in the middle. It's a little more subtle, but it's definitely there. So, you know, Fenty or Maybelline, if you don't like scented products, you're not gonna like these because they are significantly scented. But then comparison, I didn't have an exact color comparison, but for Fussy, we're just gonna compare it here to number 3, which is Moon from the Lifter Gloss. And they're not the same shade at all. I shouldn't say at all, but they're not the same shade. They look like they might be when you compare them, but they are not. So here we have, this is Fussy, this is the Lifter Gloss in Moon. So, and I even compared this one to Sweet Mouth. Let's just do that so you can see that too. And they're not exact either. Sweet Mouth is a bit more pearlized than the Moon shade. So here's Sweet Mouth. There's Moon from Maybelline, and there's Fussy. So these two are Fenty, and this one is Lifter. So are they dupes? For me, they're not dupes. They're not identical. The smell's not identical. I do think the texture of the gloss is pretty similar. I mean, it's really pretty similar. I wore each of these, well, several times. This is not a first impression, by the way. I've worn these several times, and I've worn, I think, all of the colors of the Lifter Gloss. But one day I just wore the Fenty Gloss just to remind myself, okay, what does this feel like? They're very, very similar. I still think there's just a little more body to the Gloss Bomb, to the Fenty version, than there is to the Lifter Gloss, but it's a very slight difference. They are certainly similar. And then the other one I wanted to compare was the ColourPop Luxe Lip Gloss, because again, that's got kind of the giant doe foot here, although this one's a little different. It has kind of this little dip here. And again, the scent is not the same. I think some people have said this smells like Fruity Pebbles. I've never had Fruity Pebbles. I don't know why. Just not a cereal that was in my house when I was a kid. And I don't have an exact color dupe on that either. So I wouldn't say these are, any of these are exact dupes. I would say the Lifter Gloss is pretty close to the Fenty. So let's start at the beginning, right? 001. This shade is Pearl. 001. And you're not going to see a lot from this, but I do want you to see the comparison between the shades. I always appreciate that. So there's Pearl. Pearl has some shimmer in it. That's the other thing, these have different finishes. I'd say there's 3 different finishes. There's like the Pearl, which is more shimmery. There's one that has a subtle sheen, and then there are a few that are just cream. So this one, Pearl, is shimmery. That's number 1. Number 2 is Ice, which in the tube looks like a pale pink. This one has a slight shimmer. It's not as shimmery as that first one. And you can see it's just got the slightest hint of pink in it. So you can see there's more shimmer in that first one. Number 3 is Moon. This again is very shimmery like that first one, and it's got more pink in it than the previous one. You can see that's got a little bit of color and certainly a lot of shimmer. And when I say shimmer, it is shimmer, it is not glitter. There's nothing that I've felt at all when I rub my lips together with these shimmers. They're very, very smooth. Next we've got just a cream one, and this is Silk. just kind of a mid-tone. Oh, I'm gonna go with good old nude pink as the descriptor here. And you can see this one has more color to it. So that's number 4, Silk. 5 is next. This is Petal. This one is a deeper shade of pink. This is one that I would say has very slight shimmer compared to those more shimmery shades. 5, Petal. Next to 4, Silk. Cooler. You can see that's more pink than this one. Number 6 is Reef, which is a bit more peachy, just a little more peachy, I'd say. And again, this is one of the cream shades. You can see those cream shades appear to have the most pigment, I guess we'll say, the most color. So you can see there's more peach in that one, and that there's no shimmer in that one. Next, 7 is Amber. Amber looks like that. Kind of a light to medium nudish shade, warm leaning tone. So that's Amber. The cream also, no shimmer. Number 8 is Stone, also a cream. This one is a cooler nude and a little deeper. 9 is Topaz. This one has shimmer to it. This is a pretty shimmery gloss. More like that first one we did. This is Topaz. Not as much color. More sheer. And more in that nude, maybe slightly brown leaning category. And then number 10 is Crystal. And here's Crystal is a bronze with lots of shimmer. So this one is Crystal. And again, more sheer. As you can see, those shimmer glosses don't have the same color payoff as the cream ones. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's all 10 swatched for comparison. So lip swatches, I think, are really helpful. I always really like it when people do lip swatches. I just think they give you a better sense of what it really looks like. Now, I want you to see what I look like without any color on. My lips don't have a lot of natural color. Their natural color is kind of mauve leaning, but again, not a lot of color, not a lot of pigment to my lips. So keep that in mind when I'm swatching that, you know, my lips obviously are not the same as your lips. But let's do some lip swatches, huh? So there's all the lip swatches. Hopefully that was useful. I know sometimes, like I said, it's hard to tell in arm swatches or even in the tube what they look like. So I'm hoping those lip swatches were useful to you. The one that I decided to put on and leave on was Silk. This is number 4. I seem to like the cream ones the best, just for me. I like Silk and I like Stone. Those are probably my 2 favorites. In terms of how they feel on my lips, they've got some nice body to them. They're not, I don't find them sticky. I definitely don't get that weird, like, you know, lines when I go like that. It's a nice formula. It feels good. It's pretty cushiony. I agree that it's moisturizing because I've worn these, you know, as long as they'll last during the course of a day, right? You know, it is lip gloss. It's not long lasting, but it's pretty decent. You know, I'll drink a cup of coffee and that kind of thing, or have some breakfast, and there'll definitely still be some gloss on there. And when I take them off, for example, I just swatched 10 colors and my lips aren't dying. They actually feel pretty good. It feels, in fact, I had it on one night because I kept testing different colors and I had forgotten that I had a lip gloss on. I was thinking I had put on a lip balm. So they really do feel nice. I can't say whether they actually technically moisturize your lips, but my lips feel very comfortable at the end of a day after I've worn these, or, you know, worn them a couple times, reapplied them. They do have a slightly sweet taste. So again, if that's not your thing, you'll want to keep that in mind. Do I think they, you know, do all this magic, like smooth out my lips, make them firmer, contour my lip line or whatever it says? Not really. I mean, it's a lip gloss, but it's a nice lip gloss. And I forgot to mention the price, by the way. I noticed at Ulta, these are $8.99 each. When I ordered them at Target.com, they were $6.99 each. And I think they're starting to be available now at more retailers. I've definitely heard people talking about that. I don't think they're magical, but I do think they're a really nice gloss. I like the packaging. I wasn't sure about that giant doe foot at first because I have relatively small lips, but it does work pretty well for me and I can kind of get everything in one pass. So I'm fine with that. And, you know, I like the way they feel. I personally like the way they smell. I'm gonna enjoy these quite a bit. So I give these a pretty high review, the Lifter Gloss from Maybelline. And you know, for me, it would be mainly choosing what shade. Would I buy all 10 shades under normal circumstances? No, I wouldn't. I'm pretty sure I would look for a video like this and I'd choose 1 or 2 that I thought, you know, I'd get some good use out of. So I hope that was helpful for you because that is always my only purpose here. I love to hang out and talk about makeup. I just do, and it's really thrilling that you do that with me. So I hope you're at peace today, and I'll talk to you soon.